Epstein case. More just ahead in moments from CBS News. Also,
this is Brandon Eisen. The CTA now has 90 days to respond after the feds reject the agency's new safety plan. Failure could mean a loss of $50 million in federal funding.
It could get a little harder to place your bets on the Bears' run in the playoffs. I'm political editor Jeff Buckles at City Hall with a new threat from Chicago's sports betting operators.
Plus, police issue a warning for people arranging to buy goods from online marketplace. WBBM Business.
Up arrows on Wall Street today. The Dow gained 183 points. The Nasdaq added 301. I'm Erica Herskowitz at Bloomberg.
Accurate forecast is partly mostly cloudy tonight. Temperatures slowly rising to near 30 by daybreak. Right now it is 18 degrees in Chicago at 4:31.
CBS News special report. The Justice Department has started releasing thousands of Jeffrey Epstein files. Epstein survivor Haley Robeson.
This is about children. There is no place in society for exploitation, sexual crimes, or exploitation of women.
CBS's Katrina Kaufman.
There are hundreds of thousands of pages to go through, and we're also trying to be very careful about how we vet these before we report new information on air.
CBS's Jake Rosen.
The second in command at the Department of Justice, Todd Blanche, said earlier today that this is going to be the first batch of others, and that the Department of Justice is still working on producing a lot of these files, partly because the Department of Justice says they need to continue to redact sensitive information about potential victims and potential identifying factors.
Under a new law, the Justice Department was required to release all of the files. The department in July said it had not found any information that could support prosecuting anybody else. CBS News special report. I'm Cammie McCormick.
Good afternoon. Time now 4:32. We are continuing to monitor this morning's fire on the CTA Blue Line train. At this hour, Chicago police said the man who set himself and his belongings on fire at the Damon stop is in their custody. The latest incident heightens a back and forth over public safety between CTA and the federal government. The story from WBBM's Brandon Eisen.
The Chicago Transit Authority releasing its plan yesterday to address safety concerns coming down from the Federal Transit Administration. The FTA responding today that the safety plan for buses and trains is still insufficient. The CTA now has 90 days to submit a new plan, or the FTA might withhold up to $50 million in federal funding. The plan submitted by the CTA this week includes dozens of additional Chicago police officers and private security guards with their patrols beginning today. The FTA wants to see more aggressive crime reduction targets and countermeasures that would help maintain safety for passengers and workers. This issue first became federal early this month after a violent attack on the Blue Line in which a 26-year-old woman was set on fire by a repeat criminal with a reported 79. WBBM.
The people who run the best-known sports betting sites say they're ready to stop taking wagers from sports fans in Chicago. It comes as the Bears prepare for the playoffs.
The sports environment right now is really exciting in Chicago.
But Sports Betting Alliance President Joe Maloney says Fanatics, Bet365, and similar sites are prepared to force bettors.
For blood is as constant as ever. Emily Alanis is the district manager of donor recruitment for the American Red Cross of Illinois.
We have a lot of people taking vacations, going out of state, going to family outings, and really just not wanting to deal with the snow, which I think we can all appreciate right now. But it makes it so hard to keep up our daily inventory.
We talk about giving blood and the gift of your time with the American Red Cross this weekend on At Issue. You can hear the conversation Sunday at 9:30 a.m. and 9:30 p.m. Rob Hart, News Radio 105.9 WBBM.
Chicago Police is warning the public about a series of online purchase meetups that ended in armed robberies.
There were 6 incidents this month, according to police, all in Morgan Park. People selling sneakers on Facebook Marketplace were robbed when they met the purported buyers. In 4 cases, there was 1 armed robber. In 2, there were 2. In each, the sellers lost the shoes. They reported that someone responded to their listings under the name Serving Best Deals. It no longer comes up on the site. People involved in transactions like this are advised to meet in the lobbies of police stations. Mike Krauser, News Radio 105.9 WBBM.
14 of the 17 biggest drug makers in the world have agreed to sell many of their flagship drugs in the U.S. at the lowest price.
The president said the lower prices will take effect starting next year.
Every new drug produced by these companies in the future will permanently be offered to American patients at most favored nation prices.
Trump said the U.S. is 4% of the world's population, yet pharmaceutical companies make 75% of their profits here.
For decades, Americans have been forced to pay the highest prices in the world for prescription drugs by far.
Christopher Cruz, CBS News, Washington.
Coming up next, traffic and weather, best gas prices, and the answer, perhaps a winner to our smart quiz question. That's next. It's 4:36.
It's glitz and glamour this New Year's Eve at Four Winds Casinos with live entertainment, party favors, and a chance to win a share of over $115,000 in cash. Ring in 2026 at Four Winds Casinos, your entertainment escape.
I'm meeting with the SEC to register Penny Mustard's Spencer bedroom as the security.
What?
How do we build the Spencer bedroom?
Solid wood construction.
Forever type bed brackets.
And drawer bottoms strong enough to stand on.
How long will it last?
For generations.
Furniture that lasts for generations is worth
more money in the future.
Now that's security.
The Spencer bedroom, American made with queen bed, dresser, mirror, and nightstand. Starting at $62.22 at Penny Mustard.
6 Chicagoland showrooms.
PennyMustard.com.
250 years ago, a promise was made.
Happy Friday, everybody! This is the last Friday, technically, of the year, isn't it? I think, no, we got one more Friday next week. But those of us who used to work in office, everybody knows I used to have a white-collar job. I used to do this, right, work at the union. I was an office worker. This is the last, basically, work Friday, right? We would come in, depending on how you took your vacations. We had to use it or lose it. But basically, this would be the last Friday people working downtown and all that. So this is when it gets busy. Everybody has parties today. It's packed in downtown. Downtown today should be packed. The restaurants, the bars, and everything. That's how it used to be when I used to work downtown, which was a few years ago, right? So that's the end of the year. That's it. Because I think next week is Christmas, right? And then that next few days, then it's New Year. So it kind of wraps it up. Most people take their vacation time now, and some offices close, and they'll tell you to take a furlough day or whatever it is, because they don't need, because right, everybody's off. The CPS, the students are off. And I worked at the teachers union, so we had this time off. A lot of other offices and businesses are closed too. So happy Friday, right? Happy Friday, Christmas Friday, whatever you want to call it. But it's good. And it's just some news.
Shout at 312-409-4277. It is 4:38. Traffic and weather together on the 8th, sponsored by Chicago Bar Association. Here's Lisa Costi.
Getting kind of hectic on DeSable Lakeshore Drive. Northbound, you're heavy from Roosevelt to Chicago, but southbound, you are jammed from Fullerton to North Ave. We've got a crash in a lane there. And then you're solid from the Stevenson to past 31st. We've got another crash in a lane. So hang in there. A reminder, too, Metro lines are a lot...
Marietta, by the way, I'm doing great. I had such a good time yesterday. I talked to my wife about the fun we had yesterday. I talked nice. Don't worry, she's not jealous. Maybe. I don't know. I don't know how you ladies are, but yeah, I had a really good time last night. I really appreciate your time. I had fun. I don't know if you've seen Marietta's video. We went to how many stores, Marietta? 10 stores to find Christmas cards. 10 stores. And you know what the funny part about it was? Wow, man, these guys are maniac. That guy's a maniac there. He's doing 40 miles an hour in the middle of a Christmas downtown. That guy right there, he's a maniac. Right there, in the left lane. And we went to like 10 stores to buy Christmas cards, like a box, because Marietta likes old-fashioned sending Christmas cards. We couldn't find them. We had to go. And what the funniest part about it was, the store where we finally bought it is close to her house. But we traveled everywhere. We were all over the city, man. It was fun. It was fun. We had a good time, right? Yeah, it's coming. It's here. If you didn't think Christmas was here, it's here. What's up, Clyde? What's up, Isidore? And this is what I promise. I promise. Try not to be aggravated. How about that? Okay, that's what I commit to that.
At the lakefront, and temperatures will rise to near 30 late tonight. I'm back in with the meteorologist, Brian Thompson.
Good afternoon. Time now is 4:40. CPS is taking a step forward with plans to sell 3 abandoned schools.
With 2 of the buildings sitting vacant since 2013, when former Chicago Mayor Rahm Emanuel closed 50 schools, largely on the south and west sides. The sale of 3 former CPS elementary schools were approved by the Chicago Board of Education. The buyers are planning affordable housing buildings and a community center for the abandoned sites. The district has struggled to repurpose newest buildings since the decade-plus closures. Mallory Vorbroker, News Radio 1059 WBBM.
American musicians and songwriters are using AI music companies based overseas for copyright infringement.
They can generate identical lyrics. They can generate identical songs. They can even imitate voices.
Attorney Ross Kivarowski of Lovey & Lovey is leading a group of independent musicians and songwriters in a federal lawsuit against AI music generating companies in China and Singapore, claiming the AI programs are using their work to train its AI models without permission.
We don't want somebody to be able to take our face, our voice, our fingerprint, and use it for other purposes when we didn't give consent.
The lawsuit also claims the companies are violating the Digital Millennium Copyright Act, which prohibits stripping copyright protections from digital works.
The artists are looking for an injunction prohibiting these companies from simply taking their work, taking their voices, taking their lyrics, and just reproducing it in competition.
Glenn Marshall, News Radio 1059 WBBM.
U.S. military airstrikes against alleged drug trafficking boats have reached a new milestone.
5 alleged drug traffickers aboard 2 separate vessels have been killed in the Pacific, bringing the death toll from these encounters to more than 100. The Trump administration has been carrying out the boat strikes in the Caribbean and the Eastern Pacific since September. These latest attacks came the same day President Trump claimed he did not need congressional approval for the strikes against suspected drug cartels on land in Venezuela. The Venezuelan president has claimed the U.S. strikes are about regime change, not about stopping drug trafficking. Linda Kenyon, CBS News, Washington.
Coming up next, we'll take a look at what's unfolding tomorrow for the Bears. It's 4:42.
The WBBM NFL Game of the Week.
Yeah, had a good time. And here, I'm not going to spoil it, but me and Marietta, we talked a lot of stuff yesterday. We got some new things coming up for the new year. We're going to keep it under wraps, so we're going to try something new. It's going to be regular once a week. We're not going to tell you what it's going to be, but it's going to be something. And it's going to have everything about Chicago. It's going to be all about Chicago. That's what it's going to be. It's going to be a Chicago show. We haven't figured out the title yet of it, but we're going to do something. And it's going to be something, I don't know if anybody's doing it in Chicago, but we're going to do something it might be the first of its kind. We'll see. It might be the first of its kind. I think people are doing some of the stuff that we're thinking about, but we're going to do something that no one's doing. No one. And we're going to, I don't want to talk too much because I'm excited. You know what I mean, Marietta? Remember? I don't want to spoil it because, yeah, we're going to try something I think it's never been done. I don't think what we're going to do I don't think it's ever been done. It's going to be I'll tell you some of it, but I won't tell you what it's about. It's going to have multi-feeds from multi-locations with Chicagoans. That's what it's going to be. And it's going to be on social media. That's what it's going to be. It's not going to be on regular TV. It's not going to be on YouTube. It's going to be right here on Facebook. It might be on Twitter. We don't know yet, but it's going to be something that's not, no one is doing what we're going to do. We're about to do. Okay. That's all I got to say. I don't think there's anybody doing it. I'm going to check, but I'll tell you this, the people who are going to do it, we're going to be the first to do it. That's what I'm going to say. Right, Marietta? All right, let's listen a little bit more to news if it's on. But yeah, I'm kind of excited. We had a great time. It was great. And you know, I hope whatever happens the next week or so, I hope everybody has a great Christmas wherever you're going, wherever your family's at. If your family's coming, you're not, you're going, whatever. Or if you're being at home by yourself, I hope you have a great holiday season because this is it. A good Christmas and a good New Year. I'm going to keep going. I don't know which days I'm going to take off. You know, a little bit on the weekends I take off. Sometimes I take the holidays off. So we'll see how it goes. My kid might come back from college. I have one kid that might leave. I don't know how that's going to work out. So we're planning on barbecuing maybe Christmas because I think it's supposed to be 50 or 60 degrees. So if we do that, we might do some crazy stuff. Man, these guys are... Yeah, you need to slow down, my brother. You're in the middle of traffic. These guys are running around 50 miles an hour with buses cutting in and out of traffic. They're maniacs, man. They don't know how to drive, man. You relax and that's it. It's Christmas time, man. You don't mess around. The guy's got a pickup truck. What is he doing with a pickup truck in the middle of downtown Chicago? What is he, he's picking up hay bales or some crap? Be giving goat milk or something? I don't know what he's doing. I said I was going to be nice, right? You caught me.
Micah Parsons, who is now out for the year. Not that you'll catch Johnson counting blessings.
Just because one player goes down doesn't mean that this is going to change a whole lot for them. They play relentless football. They pursue. They have a ton of team speed. We got a tall task at hand, and I know everyone wants to make it about the one particular player, but this is a very good defense, regardless of who's on the field for them.
And on the Bears side, a pair of receivers will be absent. Roma Dunze, who also missed the first game, and Luther Burden, who hurt an ankle against the Browns, forcing coordinator Declan Doyle to scramble.
You have familiarity with the defense and kind of how we prepared for them, as their personnel changes and our personnel changes. It's really a different team you're playing 2 weeks later.
Perhaps, but they'll still wear green and gold. So, Jarrett has a request for and a commitment to the Bears faithful.
Show up and show out. Show up and show out. It need to be the loudest game we had all season. They need to rock that stadium. Soldier Field need to be shaking. We know the chants they like to chant. We're going to make them happy, give them something to chant about.
Want to be part of the streaming thousands? It'll cost you. StubHub's cheapest seat is more than $400. Worth it? For what could be the first home Bears win over the Packers in 7 years? It just might be. Our next Gridiron Report is Monday morning. Rick Gregg, News Radio 105.9 WBBM.
WBBM News Time 4:47. Time to visit Lower Motors.
I forgot.
In Lincolnwood, but time now is 4:48. Traffic and weather.
Oh yeah, you're looking for that truckload of coffee, right? Stolen coffee. I'm having trouble with my thing today. I don't know why.
Past 31st, that crash in a lane.
Jason's talking about that truckload of coffee that was stolen. Man, I'm really having trouble with this. I don't know why. It's strange. And then. Yeah, it's all right. All right, just wow. I'm really having trouble with this thing today. I don't know why. Jason's talking about a truckload of coffee, a stolen coffee they found the other day. The Cook County, I think it was Cook County Sheriff's, right?
Outbound heavy, Ashland to Manheim, and then Woodfield to I-90, 48 to Manheim, and hour 10 to the Jane Addams. And then Stevenson, it's an hour in from I-355 to DeSoto Lakeshore Drive. Outbound, you're heavy from the Ryan to Harlem, and then the Tri-State all the way to Lamont Road.
If you don't know where we're at, we're going southbound on Michigan Avenue, and we just passed Randolph. So that's where we're at. If you're keeping track.
In the right lane, Dan Ryan, still solid from 39th to Summerlake. That's due to an earlier crash, 25 minutes in. Outbound, you're heavy from the Jane Byrne to 18th and 35th, all the way to the Split. It's 38 minutes trip out for you. Next traffic at 4:58 on News Radio 105.9 WBBM.
WBBM AccuWeather with a partly to mostly cloudy sky tonight. It will turn breezy as the night goes on. Temperatures slowly rising to near 30 by daybreak, and not nearly as cold tomorrow with clouds and a few breaks of sun. Maybe an afternoon rain or snow shower with a high of 41. 18 degrees at O'Hara and Midway right now. 17 in Naperville. 20 at the lakefront. Temperatures will rise to near 30 late tonight. I'm AccuWeather meteorologist Brian Thompson.
It's 4:50.
Chicago's only station dedicated to news around the clock. News Radio 105.9 WBBM.
A Northwest Suburban governmental agency has set aside tax dollars for emotional well-being.
Palatine Township trustees have approved a more than $1.5 million tax levy for a community mental health board. One trustee said that the move is a first step towards ensuring the township is a healthier, more supportive place. Township Supervisor Andy John Calcana says the levy is an indication that voters believe mental health assistance is essential. Palatine Township's total tax levy is nearly $6 million. Bernie Tafoya, News Radio 105.9 WBBM.
The search for the suspect in last weekend's deadly mass shooting at Brown University is over. Police said the alleged gunman was found dead in a New Hampshire rental storage unit. CBS's Jared Hill is on the case.
The key to breaking the case, according to a police affidavit, was interviewing an anonymous Reddit poster.
3 days ago, the person described seeing the suspect with a gray Nissan Sentra. Investigators tracked the car to a rental company in Boston where the suspect used his real name on the application. Authorities also discovered the suspect's storage unit in Salem, where his body was found.
6 of the injured Brown University students are still hospitalized in stable condition. Visiting the Trevi Fountain will now cost more than just a coin toss. You'll need the spare change to pay a new $2.30 admission fee to see the Rome attraction.
The city's mayor said today the new payment system will take effect on February 1st. He said the idea is to ease chaotic tourist flows in the area. Rome residents will continue to have free access to the fountain. A major tourist attraction, the fountain was visited this year alone by more than 9 million people. Tradition dictates that visitors who toss a coin into the water guarantee their return to Rome. Sabina Castelfranco, CBS News, Rome.
The Louvre in Paris has fully reopened after staffers voted to pause a strike.
The decision to open came during a general assembly of museum workers who unanimously agreed to allow visitors back. The strike had led to a full closure earlier in the week and a partial reopening on Wednesday. Unions say the suspension followed meetings with Culture Ministry officials, but noted insufficient progress on staffing, pay and security plans. They also expressed concerns over building deterioration and working conditions. The workers plan to hold another assembly on January 5 to decide on further action. I'm Charles Dilladesma.
It's 4:52.
I'm at Jameson's Original Char House to ask diners why the Daily Herald ranked it as one of Chicagoland's best of the best steakhouses. Is it the steaks, chops, and fresh seafood? I'll start with this nice family over here. Well, I'll come back later. But are those businessmen enjoying some of Jameson's famous Greek-style halibut?
You've got yourself a deal.
Maybe now's not the best time. Oh, but how about this young couple over by the fire? Do I see homemade soup and salad? Happiest man in the world. Oh, yes.
Yes. It's all
as you see, the last Friday, you don't see too many people here, right? It's a little colder today. It's 27. Yesterday was 44, right? Yesterday was a nice day. Today's a little cold, but you don't see anybody here. These restaurants are all, there's no one in these restaurants anymore. And when it was this time, all these places would be packed. All of it, because there'd be shows here. The symphony is here. The symphony is here, isn't it? Chicago Symphony is right here in one of these buildings. I think that's the building for the symphony right there, isn't it? And then you have the Roosevelt, but they have a big theater in here. They used to always have shows here. There's nothing going on, man. Look, the Congress Plaza Hotel. We have a Bears game tomorrow, right? Do you see anybody? Look. Right, you don't see anybody. It's kind of wild, isn't it? Yeah, it's empty down here. 454, it's the Congress Hotel. It's on a Friday. The Bears are playing tomorrow. It's strange. Usually this street right here is always packed if there's a game or something. And plus it's the last Friday technically of the year for people working downtown. Look at that. There's no one. We're going south on Michigan Avenue. There's no one out here. Like zero. It's a little cold. It's 27 degrees, but there's no one here. There's the Blackstone there. There's usually shows going on. Usually on a Friday, for those of us who have worked in downtown, know what Friday, we all know what this Friday is. It's the last day of the year. I'm repeating this, everybody, because I'm talking on this. I'm live feeding on Facebook, and then I'm recording this also because I'm repeating this what I said earlier on in my live feed. The last Friday, this Friday is the last work Friday, usually for most people in the offices. I used to work downtown, so this would be packed. There'd be shows, there'd be restaurants, there'd be bars. We'd go to the Kris Kringle market. We'd do all of those things. All of the people that would work downtown, we would go up. See, look, there's the Hilton right in front of us. If we have a big Bears game tomorrow, this is usually backed up with cars. There's no one here. Look. Because there's no one coming into town. Look at that. There's no traffic here. It's 4:55 p.m. There's nobody here. Here's a little bit good. That's good to see this a little bit, but there's no one in and out of the hotel there. See that there? It's empty. There's theaters all around here. There's bars, there's clubs. Buddy Guys is right around the corner here. Right? See, there's a theater right there. There ain't no one around. See that there? There's no one walking here, man. We're going south down Michigan. There's no one here. It's completely empty. There's no one in these stores. See that there? Look at that. It's dark. It's like it's closed. Again, that's the time. It's not even 5 o'clock yet. So it's not even, I mean, usually on these Fridays, you get off a little early. What you'll do is you have an office party. You have the gift exchange usually. Look, there's no one in that building there. You don't see any employees, no nothing, right? I don't know what's going on with these buildings. They look abandoned here. Oh, that's Columbia College. So what it is, they're already out. See the bagel place, it's empty. So what usually happens on this day is you get off a half a day. Usually the boss lets you off half a day. And you'll have a party. So he'll say, all right, you're off a half a day, you have a party, whatever. So then you'll have the office party, you'll have your Secret Santa, Hidden Santa, whatever those, remember those ugly sweater days. That usually happens today. Usually today, sometimes it happens on the Thursday, but usually today. Since Christmas is next week, in the middle of the week, it'll happen today. So you have all those activities today. Potlucks, all of that stuff. See that there ain't nobody in that place. See that there? So you have all of those parties going on in the office. You get a half a day. And then what happens is, since people like to do their own thing, and an office party is an office party, then you go do something else in a bar or a restaurant. So you'd have the office thing that happens, and then you would go after you get off half a day, you would go do something. You do a reservation, maybe you go to the piano bar, or you go to some buffet, or you go whatever, right? Howl at the Moon I'm talking about. You know, you do those kinds of things, and you have a little bit of fun, and then you go off on your Friday, and that's it. And you don't come back to work usually till the beginning of the year. Now, there's usually skeleton crews that come in. That's where you swap for vacation days and all of that stuff, right? Or PTO days that expire, you have to give up before January 1st. So that's what I'm trying to say here. And you see, there's no one walking around. Everybody knows, what was that? The Aurelio's, it's closed. The pizza joint's closed there on the morning. There's a little bit of traffic here, but there isn't. As you see, Michigan Avenue coming down from Randolph to Roosevelt, it's basically empty. There's no one here. And it's the last work day of the year, technically. And it's usually packed. Usually always was packed on this day. There you go. That's the time. What's up, my brother? Happy holidays, all right? Happy holidays. All right, let's listen to the news, right?
The Chicago City Council passes an alternative budget to the one proposed by Mayor Johnson, omitting his controversial head tax from the plan. A man is hospitalized after setting himself on fire aboard a CTA Blue Line train early this morning. Plus, the Justice
I worked Christmases too.
Pages of documents from its Jeffrey Epstein.
I worked factory jobs and all of that. I like working Christmas. You got double time, sometimes triple time, depending on your contract. Some companies, if you had a good contract, you get triple time working on Christmas. Triple time.
We make our way to 5 o'clock.
This is CBS News on the Hour, sponsored by O'Reilly Auto Parts.
I'm Cammie McCormick. As required by law, the Justice Department has begun releasing Jeffrey Epstein files, hundreds of thousands of them, though it's only the first batch.
Nobody out here on Michigan Avenue between Randolph and Roosevelt.
At the first part of this war and peace, that there's heavy redactions.
4:45 p.m., December 19, 2025. The last
important to measure tonight whether they've gone too far with that.
Friday before the major holidays of the year.
Sources, sensitive materials. You certainly have to redact any child abuse material.
Many lawmakers on Capitol Hill are angry that not all of the files are being released now as ordered. Barry Levine wrote a book about Epstein, The Spider.
I don't think that a great deal of the public is going to be completely satisfied that we're seeing all the
Usually
files.
for the office
They wonder
workers
what
downtown, it
happened
would be our
to
last Friday of the year.
President Trump, are they going to go later? Are they going to be missing? We don't know all the answers here, but there's going to be questions about this for years to come.
Authorities said today the suspect in the Brown University shooting and the murder of an MIT professor died of a gunshot wound 2 days before he was discovered late yesterday. Officials still don't have a motive. CBS's Anna Schechter.
There is so little on him on the internet. It's really stunning. Did he scrape all of his presence on the internet prior to this attack?
He was in the U.S. on an immigrant visa, a program Secretary of State Rubio has now paused. Rubio gave a lengthy end-of-the-year press conference today where he was asked about the progress to end the war in Ukraine.
What we're trying to figure out here is what can Ukraine live with and what can Russia live with, sort of identify what both sides' positions are and see if we can sort of drive them towards each other to some agreement.
Talks are expected to continue this weekend in Miami with Ukrainian officials. Christopher Cruz reports more drug companies have promised to lower their prices for Americans.
The president said the lower prices will take effect starting next year.
Every new drug produced by these companies in the future will permanently be offered to American patients at most favored nation prices.
Trump said the U.S. is 4% of the world's population, yet pharmaceutical companies make 75% of their profits here.
For decades, Americans have been forced to pay the highest prices in the world for prescription drugs by far.
Christopher Cruz, CBS News, Washington.
The U.S. military has begun striking ISIS targets in Syria in retaliation for the killings of 2 U.S. soldiers. Defense Secretary Pete Hegseth tweeted, "Today we hunted and we killed our enemies. Lots of them." On Wall Street today, stocks finished higher, the Dow up 183. This is CBS News.
Think O'Reilly Auto Parts for all your car care needs.
Lots of news out there. They're trying to fix this Ukraine. Hopefully they get that done. That'd be nice to get that war over with. I like them dropping the didn't Trump say he was going to do that? Drop the pharmacy prices? You know how much that's going to save us as a society? That's going to, all that money we spent on those medications, now it's going to come back to us. That's what I keep saying. And this is economics. If you drop prices, people have more money to spend. Since we don't have industry anymore, what we had to do is drop prices, right? You don't raise prices, you drop prices. That way, and I don't have to spend $5 on a bottle of pills. I spend $1, now I have $4 to spend on other things. That's the way it works, right? I mean, that's important. People don't think about that.
Our top local story on News Radio WBBM. Members of the Chicago City Council have defied Mayor Brandon Johnson and given final approval to a 2026 budget measure that does not include his signature head tax on Chicago's biggest corporations. The council voted 29-19 this afternoon for what's become known as the alternate budget, which relies on fine and fee increases and other revenue sources instead of a per-worker tax on Chicago's 175 biggest companies. Now, after the vote, Council Finance Committee Chair and Bronzeville Alderwoman Pat Dow told reporters her colleagues are committed to working together next year to present an alternative to the Johnson administration's budget priorities.
We have to dig in and we have to work more and pay more attention to the things that happen in government and put our stamp on it as well. We have to have a co-equal branch of government, and that's what this is about.
The mayor has called parts of the alternate budget morally bankrupt. He has now said whether he'd veto it, pushing the city closer to a potential shutdown. A man set himself and his belongings on fire on the CTA Blue Line earlier this morning. The incident caused a fire, panic, and major delays for hours.
It was intentional, according to police, who say a 52-year-old man started a fire that spread to his legs just after 6 a.m. while on a moving train near the Damon stop in Wicker Park. Initially listed in critical condition at the hospital, police later described his condition as stable. CPD's arson unit and the ATF responded, with the investigation causing delays for hours as trains moved through the area on a single track. The man is now in federal custody with charges pending. Sarah Herrera, News Radio 105.9 WBBM.
2 young adults are due in court any time now. Chicago police say 18-year-old Kevion Davenport and 19-year-old Eugene Davenport each face 4 felony counts for burglary in connection to 4 burglaries in the city. 3 of the incidents took place on Wednesday between 9:30 and 10:30 a.m. in the morning. The local faith community is asking ICE officials to deliver a Christmas wish to detained immigrants being held in Broadview.
Local religious leaders and members met at the ICE field office downtown to deliver a letter demanding the Department of Homeland Security and ICE officials let clergy inside of the Broadview facility to distribute Holy Communion to detainees. A member of the Coalition for Spiritual and Public Leadership, Sister Jeremy Madura, stood outside in the cold to demand action.
We are insisting that Catholic pastoral leaders be allowed inside Broadview on Christmas Eve or Christmas Day to bring communion and spiritual care to those detained.
ICE officers did take the hand-delivered letter from the group, which was mission accomplished for the frozen worshipers. Valerie Vorbroker, News Radio 105.9 WBBM.
Hazel Crest police are asking for witnesses to come forward about a shooting that left 1 person dead and 2 others wounded on Wednesday night.
Police responded to a home on the 3300 block of Birchwood after receiving multiple calls that shots had been fired. They initially found that 2 men had been shot and had life-threatening wounds. They were taken to Advocate Christ Medical Center. One, an 18-year-old, was later pronounced dead. While police were still at the scene, they say a 3rd person was dropped off at the same hospital, also shot during the same incident. Police have not provided more details. They say the shooting was a targeted, isolated incident and that no arrests have been made. Mike Krauser, News Radio 105.9 WBBM.
An arrest is made in a series of break-ins and attempted burglaries in the southwest suburbs.
Joliet police say the burglaries or attempted break-ins happened last month. And when 32-year-old Christopher Cavelli was served arrest warrants, he was already behind bars in the Will County Jail on other burglary charges. Police say that in one instance, Cavelli allegedly broke into a muffler shop, took some loose change and a car key, and made off with the vehicle connected to it. Other Joliet burglaries or attempted burglaries happened at another muffler and brake shop, a pharmacy, and a hot dog stand. Bernie Tafoya, News Radio 105.9 WBBM.
It is 5:08 to traffic and weather together on the 8 town. The roads, Lisa Costi.
Well, Eden's still very busy with that police activity going on. It has been moved to the right shoulder, but you're still stopping go from Old Orchard to Chewy. It's 35 minutes in from Lake Hook to the junction. Outbound, it's 32 minutes. We got a gaper delay. Kennedy inbound heavy from Canfield up to Ogden. It's an hour 8 now from O'Hare. 32 from the junction. Outbound, you're heavy from the Burn interchange to past Harlem. It's 53 minutes to O'Hare. Express lanes going outbound, but you might want to stay in the locals if you can, because you'll save 5 minutes. Yeah, I went on the O'Hare extension, getting slow from Bessie Coleman to the Tri-State eastbound, westbound from the Tri-State to Manheim. The Eisenhower, an hour 25 minutes in from the Jane Addams to the Jane Byrne. It's 50-50 from Manheim. You're looking at 46 minutes out to Manheim and an hour 8 to the Jane Addams. Stevenson, it's an hour in from I-355 to DeSable Lakeshore, drive slow, Lamont to Pulaski, and then Damon to the Ryan. Outbound, heavy from the Ryan to Harlem, and the Tri-State to Lamont Road. It's 54 to the Tri-State, an hour 8 to I-355. I-55 in Will County, northbound slow, Route 53 to 355, and southbound from I-80 to US 6. That's road work happening in the right lane, and the exit ramp to westbound I-80 closed until Monday for work. The Dan Ryan heavy Pershing to the Jane Byrne, 25 minutes in. Outbound is 35 minutes for you. You're slow from the Jane Byrne 18th, and then Pershing to the split. I-57, slow US 30 to I-80. It's 20 minutes in, 20 minutes out, and you're 18 minutes in either direction on the Bishop Ford. From the Metro Traffic Center, your next traffic at 5:18 on News Radio 105.9 WBBM.
Thank you for the forecast. Says for our day ahead or evening ahead, partly to mostly cloudy, breezy late. Temperatures slowly rising to near 30 by daybreak. Then tomorrow, clouds, a few breaks of sun, a stray afternoon rain or snow shower. Breezy, not nearly as cold, and a high of 41 degrees. And Sunday, bright sunshine, a gusty cold breeze, a high of 27, but back up to 41 degrees Monday. Tuesday could see a high of 44. Right now, 18 degrees, mostly cloudy skies at 5:10.
Xfinity is the network you can rely on. Like a close friend.
So that's what we're talking about. I just made a video on Michigan Avenue going south from Randolph. Now we're going north on State Street. from Ida B. Wells, right? And you see the same thing. There's no one here, right? Not only is there no one here, but that whole block there's no stores open. They're all closed. You see the whole block there? Those are all closed stores. It's 5:10 p.m. This is not like Saturday or Sunday somewhere in a suburban town or some kind of country town, right? Where everything closes at 5 o'clock. This is not that. We're in Chicago, right? As you see, there's no one walking here. There's 0 people walking. There's no one walking. I mean, there's 4 people, 5 people on that block. There's what, 3 people on that block. You see that there? So the point I'm trying to make here is
breaking. The Post-Tribune reports that he was one of 4 suspects in the crime, and only one other person has been caught and charged. Prosecutors say the group wanted to steal copper. A new study from Lurie Children's Hospital sheds light on the confusion over when to introduce peanuts to a baby's diet to try to prevent nut allergies from developing.
The study, published in JAMA Network Open, found many parents have questions about the purpose, risk, and timing of early peanut introduction guidelines and could benefit from more support and information from pediatricians. According to the study's lead author, peanuts should be introduced to a baby's diet as soon as they start eating solids, and parents should continue feeding babies peanut foods twice a week through their first year and continue into their toddler years. Research shows peanut allergy development can be reduced.
So what we have is we have this traffic jam here. Why? Because there's the construction stuff up there. Remember, I keep showing you guys that? There's construction going there, and it's confusing. It's confusing arrows because where the construction happens, the only way to go is left. But it has a no left turn, but you can't turn right. So you can only go down a little 1-lane road. And now you think about it. Everybody's here. Everybody's going home. Maybe there's some people coming in and trying to relive their childhood with checking out what's going on in downtown, right? Right. I'll show you. I'll go up here, right? That's what you're seeing. You see the traffic cones there? So that's what's happening. So they don't let you turn up there. You'll see a no turn sign there. So everybody now is what they call bottlenecked or kettled. So they're kettling the traffic. And there's never anybody out here working. They're not working on the roads. I don't know why they did that. But that's what you see here, right? And then there's Marshall Fields, right? There you go. You don't see too many people walking here. You see that there? Again, this is the last Friday before the big holiday season, right? It's a traffic mess here. And you think about it, if they even have these bottlenecks or whatever, maybe they should put one of these traffic people out here, but they don't, right? I don't know what you're doing, my brother. Yeah, there you go. You know what I mean? At least have, what do you call that? A traffic person out here guiding the traffic, but they don't. See that? So on that street, you see that's a westbound one way over there. But they had these cones that say you can't turn. So basically, if you wanted to do something here, you can't do anything. You have to go straight into that 1-lane road here. I'll show you this, right? I'll show you this, right? This is the way the city set this up on the holiday weekend. See that here? Look. Right there. See that there? That's what we got now, right? So everything's jammed, and then if the bus is picking up passengers, they don't go forward, right? So there's a little bit of weird. I can smell the weed again here, right? There's weed smell all over here, right? You can smell the weed. So if you're coming downtown and you don't like weed smell, then you're gonna smell it, right? See, there ain't nobody working here. There's no work happening. You can look at all my videos. You see that none of that's been touched. So, and then you come here after the bottleneck. There's no traffic here, so it's like fake. It's making fake congestion. There's no congestion, right? They're working on the train system there too, right? So there you go. That's northbound State Street from Ida B. Wells. We're all the way up to Wacker Drive up here. So you just went through the loop, State Street. It is now 5:15 p.m. December 19th, 2025. The last work Friday. We call it the work Friday of the year. Yeah, some people will work next Friday, they do, but most companies, the office guys aren't in. So there you go. That traffic is the bad part. So if you don't get into that, you can fool around downtown. Take it easy.
Visualized to your third tonight. I'm anchored by the meteorologist Brian Thompson. WBBM News Time, 5:16. Time to test drive a new Chevrolet EV at Apple Chevy or your Chevy EV connection. Now from the AppleChevy.com sports desk, here's 6-7 the scores. Adam Stisson.
The Bears face the Packers tomorrow.
Last office work Friday of the year. You don't see anybody out here, do you, on State Street? Northbound State Street.
Veteran tight end Cole Kmet says
from Ida B. Wells up to Wacker.
Physicality within the game, learning how to play, second level releases, like those little things.
5 o'clock.
When you come in and you get rerouted the first time maybe in training camp from a linebacker.
5 p.m. December 19, 2025.
He's just continued to excel.
Tomorrow night's winner will have the inside track to the NFC North crown. The Bulls are back on the court tonight. They'll take on the Cavaliers for the second time in 3 days, this time in Cleveland. The Cavs are without Donovan Mitchell and Craig Porter Jr. tonight. Ayo Dosunmu is back for the Bulls on a 24-minute restriction. Tip-off is at 6:30, and you can hear the game over on 670 The Score. The college football playoff begins this evening. 9-seeded Alabama is facing 8-seeded Oklahoma on the road. The winner advances to take on top-seeded Indiana on New Year's Day. Kickoff there is at 7 o'clock. MLB trade today, a big one. The Pirates are acquiring two-time All-Star second baseman Brandon Lowe from Tampa Bay. The trade also involves the Astros, who are sending left-hander Mason Montgomery and outfielder Jake Mangum to Pittsburgh. The Pirates are shipping pitcher Mike Burrows to Houston. And how about this? The Bears aren't the only NFL team making stadium news this week. The Chiefs are close to moving from Arrowhead Stadium in Missouri to a new stadium in Kansas. The Legislative Coordinating Council plans to meet Monday in Topeka to consider funding up to 70% of that project. The Chiefs and Royals have played in Missouri for over 50 years. Their leases expire in January 2031. With sports at 16 and 46, I'm 670 The Score's Adam Stasinski on News Radio 105.9 WBBM.
518 traffic and weather together on the 8, sponsored by Toyota on Edens. Here's Lisa Costa.
DeSable Lakeshore Drive, northbound you're heavy from Roosevelt up to Chicago Avenue. Southbound still heavy from the Stevenson to past 31st. That's due to that earlier crash, but luckily that's cleared. You got a new crash on the Tri-State. Southbound you are heavy from the Stevenson to 111th. That crash blocking the right lane. The northbound side of the Tri-State is jammed from the Hinsdale Oasis to the Eisenhower. The Jane Addams looks good. The Ronald Reagan Tollway eastbound you're slow Route 53 to I-355 and heavy Route 83 to the Tri-State. Veterans, some slowdowns for you northbound Maple to the Reagan and Army Trail to I-290, southbound Lake Street to past North Avenue. The Eden's still dealing with that police activity, although it is on the right shoulder. Your stop and go from Old Orchard to Huey and then Cesar at the junction. It's 40 minutes in. Gabriel delay making it 35 minutes on the outbound side. The Kennedy, heavy from Canfield all the way up to Ogden. It's an hour 8 in from O'Hare, 32 from the junction. Outbound it's 35 to Montrose, 53 to O'Hare. Express lanes, actually you lose 5 minutes there, so stay in the locals if you can. The Eisenhower, it's an hour 25 in from the Jane Addams to the Jane Byrne, an hour 8 on the outbound side with delays from Ashland to Manheim and then Woodfield Road to I-90. Traffic sponsored by Toyota on Edens. The best way to service your Toyota is right off the Edens Expressway at the new Toyota on Edens. Stop in for their Saturday Express service special at $29.95 oil change with free coffee and donuts. Any Toyota all day Saturday. This is new Toyota on Edens in Northbrook. Your next traffic at 528 on News Radio 105.9 WBBM.
And the forecast says our day ahead, heading into tonight, partly to mostly cloudy, breezy, late temperatures slowly rising to near 30 by daybreak, believe it or not. Then tomorrow, your Saturday clouds, a few breaks of sun, a stray afternoon rain or snow shower, breezy, not nearly as cold. Looking at a high of 41 tomorrow, but outside currently 18 degrees, mostly cloudy skies at 520. Our top story this hour, Justice Department starts releasing its collection of documents tied to the late billionaire sex offender Jeffrey Epstein. We will have much more on this story coming your way with a live special report from CBS News at 5:31. A Wisconsin judge accused of helping an immigrant dodge federal authorities has been convicted by a jury.
Milwaukee County Circuit Judge Hannah Dugan has been convicted by a jury of obstruction, which is a felony. She was acquitted of concealing an individual, a misdemeanor. On April 18th, Judge Dugan was hearing the battery case of Eduardo Flores Ruiz. When she learned that immigration agents were outside her courtroom to take the defendant into custody, she left the courtroom to confront the agents, then led the defendant and his attorney out a private jury door. Agents spotted Flores Ruiz, chased him down, and arrested him. U.S. Attorney Brad Schimmel says Judge Dugan had to face the consequences of her actions.
The defendant is certainly not evil, nor is she a martyr for some greater cause. It was a criminal case like many that make their way through this courthouse every day, and we all must accept the verdict peacefully.
Audio courtesy of WISN. Following the verdict, Dugan left the courtroom without commenting. She faces up to 5 years in prison. I'm Donna Warner.
This portion of the news sponsored by SchneiderJobs.com at 5:21. Time for healthy eating.
Eating enough protein isn't just for weightlifters. It's an essential component of a healthy diet for all men. I'm Dr. Dhruv Kumar from Loyola Medicine with Healthy Eating. Protein is essential for building and repairing tissues, and it plays a crucial role in muscle development. For men, this is particularly important as lean muscle mass helps maintain a healthy metabolism and supports weight management. A higher protein diet can also aid in managing appetite and promoting fat loss, which is beneficial for men looking to shed excess weight. Protein-rich foods like lean meats, poultry, fish, eggs, and legumes can keep you feeling full, reducing the temptation for unhealthy snacks. However, it's essential to maintain a balanced diet that includes a variety of nutrients to support optimal men's health. Consult with a healthcare professional or nutritionist for personalized recommendations based on your specific needs and goals. For more information, go to loyolamedicine.org/nutrition. I'm Dr. Dhruv Kumar from News Radio 1059 WBBM.
Helzberg Gifts checked off the list. Now, time for wrapping. Earrings for mom.
They're selling drugs to these guys here.
A gold bracelet to match the rings Danielle wears every day. And for dad, a new watch, because we all know he needs one. All right, this is going to be a good one.
Our favorite things for your favorite people. Shop in store at Helzberg.com for up to 50% off.
Celebrate the holiday season with family and friends at Jameson's Char House. Enjoy all-inclusive meals in a festive atmosphere, or take it hot to go. Make your holiday reservations online or call to book your party now. Looking for the perfect gift? For every $100 in gift cards purchased, receive a $25 gift card free. Dine in, carry out, or order online today. Visit a Jameson's Char House near you for juicy steaks, chops, fresh fish, and more. Best wishes this holiday season from Jameson's Char House. Gift card offer valid from November 28th until the end of the year at participating Jameson Char House locations.
5:23 now. Business from the PNC Bank Business Desk. Official Bank of the Bears.
Doing drugs right there. There's a drug dealer right in front of us.
Its biggest year ever. That's quite the accomplishment for Carnival following the pandemic that hit the industry so hard. Some are predicting recovery could take multiple years. Friday, Carnival said its profits topped $3 billion for the first time in 2025, and it's predicting a 12% jump from that next year, thanks to strong bookings by customers clearly not scared away by higher prices. Ford is recalling more than 270,000 electric and hybrid vehicles in the U.S. because of a parking function problem that could lead to them rolling away. The recall includes certain F-150 Lightning, Mustang Mach-E, and Maverick vehicles. And in an effort to help improve U.S. trade relations, Toyota will begin shipping 3 American-made models, the Camry, Highlander, and Tundra, to Japan starting next year. Stocks closed higher on Wall Street as AI shares advanced, led by Oracle, NVIDIA, and Micron Technologies. The Nasdaq gained 301 points. The Dow added 183. The S&P ahead 60. With business at 23 and 53 from the Bloomberg Newsroom, Erica Herskowitz, News Radio 1059 WBBM.
Are you a business owner or self-employed? Do you owe the IRS $10,000 or...
think I can get through that back. gonna be by humbug, man. Not at Christmas. We're gonna go around and give you one more light tour, and that's it. We'll call it a night. This one last road I like over here. They got a lot of nice lights. I'll show you over here. And, let's see if I can go over here. Walton Street. That's where the Playboy Club used to be. Walton Street.
you.